and today we're going to learn about a holy land, or we can call it the promised land, where Abraham and Sarah go. And let's talk about it. Yes, and today we're going to learn about Israel. What's this continent student watching? Say it with me. North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica. Okay, so today we went back to this. What is this called? I give you a clue. It's the land where you live. Yes, it's the United States. And it's on the continent of North America. This is North America. What is student watching? North America. South. No, that's our direction. It's called South America. And today we're going to learn about this continent. What is this continent still watching? Yes, the continent is called Asia. And we're going to learn this. It's quite small, you can't see it. But it's called what is it? Yes, it's called Israel. And it has a city, Bethlehem, where Jesus was born. I'll tell you that later in a little bit. But Israel is true that Abraham and Sarah went to that land. And let's talk about that a little bit because we're going to learn again about the oceans. And what's this ocean still watching? Yes, it's the Atlantic Ocean. What is the world's largest ocean still watching? And what is it? Yes, it's the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the world's largest ocean. And the Arctic Ocean is the world's smallest ocean. Alright, so here's the Indian Ocean, and down here is the Southern Ocean. And this island is called Israel. But did you know something special about Israel? Yes, I love Israel because it's a holy land. It's where Jesus was born. I will travel to Israel. I will tell you about something about Israel because it's fun. And today we're going to learn a land called Israel. And Israel, it's just an island. It's small, so you can't see it. But I tell you something special in Israel. And it's the edge of Asia. It's small, but it's the land that in Asia is at the edge. And here we can see just a little bit of Asia. But here is the island is called. Tell me again, what's this island called? Yes, it's called Israel. Okay. Can you see here? This is the city. I just talked about it. Yes, it's Bethlehem. I love the city Bethlehem because it's where Jesus was born. What is this sea called? Yes, it's the dead what? Yes, it's the Dead Sea. We talk about that in a little bit. And this next is the Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee. And can you see this girl here? She's going to travel with. Her name is Sarah, just like Sarah in the story of Abraham. And Bethlehem, it has buildings where Jesus was born. Something old that Jesus was born is still there, and something new. Just like we live here in America. And the Dead Sea. Do you know? No things living there. No creature. And you... Alright, we talk about that in a little bit. But can you see here? Shallow shalom from Israel. Shalom is you say hello. And this city is called Bethlehem. And this is grapes. There are so many grapes in Israel because they love grapes. And this is the city I just talked about it. It's Bethlehem. Bethlehem was so special. And here, just the vegetable, the fruit, just like this girl holding, and there are many other fruits down here. And can you see that black here? I just can't remember, but I'll tell you in a little bit later. This is called the umbrella. It's called the umbrella. So like, it sounds fun, but all these things are in Israel, and we in the city of Venice, we're going to travel down to the islands,
Venice.
to Jesus Solemn. Yes, it's where Jesus was born. So we will have Jesus. Good. Jesus Solemn. Say it with me. Jesus Solemn. It's your turn to say, oh, this is the flag, and this symbol is very special. It's about the story of King David. Wow, I love King David. King David was a very wise king, and God loved him because he always walked with God. He obeyed God. And I love this symbol because it belongs to King David. King David was obeyed God, and he was chosen to be king. And this flag belongs to King David. And did you know this symbol right here? Yes, it belongs to King David. He was so wise, and he chose to be king because what? Yes, because he's obeyed God. He obeyed God so much, and the whole country chose him to be king. And can you see here? It's called the Sea of Galilee. Yes, it's the Sea of Galilee. And the Sea of Galilee is smaller than the ocean. You could go down and swim in there, but don't swim too far. You might sink, or a shark might eat you. You can play near here or play in here, but don't go too far. You might get lost in the oceans, not in the sea. So this is called the Sea of Galilee. You could slide down here to here. That might be fun. And the water in there is very warm. And this is a city. Do you remember the city that I just told you? Yes, the city of Bethlehem. The city of Bethlehem. And the city of Bethlehem is so beautiful. Jesus was what in there? Was born in there. Jesus was born in the city of Bethlehem. But you can see the things. You can see some shepherds in there. You can just see it. And here are some buildings. It's a very, very special buildings. And this is called the what sea? I think it's maybe the Dead Sea. And Jesus was often go to there to make a miracle. Did you know about the miracle? I know it. I will tell you later. But this sea, Jesus was always walking there because Jesus was God. Jesus was God, and he always walked you there to make a miracle. A miracle is something think that the fire of the miracle never went out, especially for the house that from the miracle broken, the fire went out. There are many things about miracle, but I can't just remember them, so I'll tell you a little bit later. And I love this sea. There's no living creature there, but I love it because it's also cool in there. You can swim and swim and swim, but you can't sing because it's had a lot of salt. So you can't sing. You just lay down in there, put your feet in the water and slap the water at the people. That might be fun. So you can visit the Dead Sea. And there's something more special about the Dead Sea. There's no living creatures there, but only trees. And Jesus often go to there. And Jesus was God, and he often made a miracle. And did you know about the miracle I tell you? Can you explain them to me? Alright, that's it. I can't just remember them. Alright, this is called the Dead Sea. You could lay down in there, swim for a long, long time. And when you swim is tired, you could go down there. And this woman is called the Israel. This name is fun. And the people in there look like Abraham because they all have frown. The frown is something that man's only has. And this is called the city of God. Did you know what's here? Now let's go to this direction. This can you see this rooftop right here? Here. It's very beautiful. And when the sun set, the building started to shine just like gold. So it is called the city of gold. And can you see the building here? There are many buildings, many stores in there. And in here in the buildings there is the top, so we could visit in there, but don't make any sounds. And you could go in there and visit. You could play in there. And there's so many things about Israel. It's so beautiful, and it's had a lot of things. Do you know what they grow? I can't remember, but I'll tell you later, a little bit later. So there are many people living there, and they live in buildings. Some were old like Jesus was born, and some were new like we have here in America. And did you know about this? I can't remember it. And this is the things farmer will grow. Lemons and cottons and grapes and olive. The trees is called olive. So it's fun to visit the olive is just a small tree, just as cold. And this is peach, cotton. Looks fun. And the olive tree, I just tell you about it. And the olive tree, looks like it's scary, just like it has some arms in there. And this is a lemon. And no, orange, a kiwi, grape. That's the one thing we tell it.
What's it?
And a tomato. There are many tomatoes in there, and this is a fig. A fig tastes very yummy. And if I go to Israel, I will taste that fig. And students here will go to school every day, even on Saturday. Sunday they could rest at home. And they never stop learning because they love learning from God, what God tells them. And this is the sport they like to play is the soccer. It's soccer, and they love to play soccer. They always have soccer in there to play every day. That might be fun. And this is the food it looks just like the food we eat, but the sandwiches have bread and eggs, and there are 3 loaves of bread. The one put in the middle, and then the egg and the bread at the very bottom. And here is the school. Look like a school, but I don't think so. Look like a restaurant. Look like a restaurant because it has a table and lots of other chairs. So maybe it's a restaurant. And there's something more about it. So let's review about Israel. And what is continent Israel in? Student watching? Yes, it's on the continent of Asia. Good, it's on the continent of Asia. And Israel, how can we travel to Israel? We on the city of Venice. When we travel, we could fly in a plane and travel to Israel. It might be fun. And Israel had lots of different things. I love Israel. And Israel,
Holy Land.
and it's a holy land or promised land. The promised land, God called it because it were Abraham and Sarah in there. And it's very beautiful in there. Still watching, I enjoy learning with you. Goodbye, see you next time.